Welcome to another game stream, and thank you for watching. This stream has been presented by LTATM.net. Let's talk about the madness and Spider Does Things on YouTube. Please go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, watch some videos, drop some likes. We're going to play some Death Stranding. I'm going to turn that down, because that's in my ears. Here we go. It's late, I know. For all you Twitch viewers, it's a late one. It's a late one, and that's okay. Sometimes we like to go late. Ooh, that's good. Let's see what Mads has got to say now. We'll say an answer. Oh, don't. As soon as I heard the ho ho ho, I figured he was gonna do a Santa thing. Santa Train. His name is Cliff.
What could it be? What could it be?
Gotta open it for her. She's not in the best condition to open things.
Look. Sabini. Lovely.
Keep your head warm while you sleep there. What else you got?
Oh, what about you, little one?
He doesn't have the beard on though. He's probably drunk again though.
Would you like me to open it?
He's drunk again.
Oh, what do we have here? What do we have here? A spaceman.
What's with that thing, huh?
Gotta give my buddy his present too.
No, kitten. No. No.
Won't be needing this anymore. I'm done fighting.
A gun, huh?
You're all that matters to me now, so I'm gonna stay right here with you. My friend will know what to do with this one.
Just the cat's being bad again.
Well,
It's bad season for cats, you know what I mean? The crazy man. Kojima. You weirdo. You weirdo. You weird man. What are you doing, Mr. Cat? You're being good, aren't you? Yeah, he says I'm being good. I'm a good boy.
Scanning bridges
I'm not
ID.
causing any problems.
Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure.
Yeah, I bet they will. $288 kilograms. I'd have to go more than once. To be honest, I'd have to go pick up a bunch of stuff and then drop it off and then... You know what? Actually, I didn't think about that. If they're warning me about it, it means... Oh yeah, here in the chat on Twitch, we've got the good old Deadpool head. Yeah, I got a late start today. It was a different kind of day today. Nothing real crazy. Just I was working against other people's schedules and stuff. Let's cancel that because if that's, I thought I could go and take like part of it and take it back, but I think they're gonna be like, "Oh, you left half your cargo behind, and then we're mad at you, and then I'm gonna fail the mission or something." That's to the engineer. Oh, but that's fragile and it goes through their territory. so I'm gonna be grouchy if I do that. Delivery well, you know what? It only says less than 50% damage. I've done that before. I can get through there with less than 50% damage. That's not bad. I could do that. Yeah, I can do that. I can fight those guys and get less than 50% damage. That's perfectly fine. Don't fight. Cats. Don't fight. Dinguses. Okay, artworks. Yeah, I can do that. I can go right through their territory and beat the ever-living everything out of them. Wait, I'm not ready. Gotta put on the drip. Okay. Yeah. Now we're fashionable. You cannot do a delivery without being fashionable. You got to. By the way, everybody watching on Twitch here, the Deadpool head guy, he's in there. He's got a show on This Uncanny Earth, which is one of my other shows, one of my other networks. And you'll be able to watch it on ltatm.net, the new website that encompasses everything. Assuming that the playlists get made like I asked, and I hope they do. Not to throw anybody under the bus or anything, but I gotta get those playlists made so we can coordinate all that stuff. Otherwise, I gotta update it all the time with fresh episodes manually. Which is okay, I can do that, but I would rather not. I don't want a ranked event. I don't do ranked events. I don't play well with others. I don't play well with the others. See what I mean? I don't. I wonder if I could skirt around their territory. Oh, there's those mountains. No. If I go that way, I'll get stuck and hung up there. What if I... No. Because that goes under that road. You know what? I'm going to try it anyway. Because I don't want to go through their territory. If I can help it. Let's see. Let's go. Going to the river. Let's go down there. All the way down to there. And then we'll go over from there. What do we think? We think that's a good route? We'll find out. We will find out. Oh, it's starting to rain already. I've been lucky, though. I've had a couple of these rainstorms, and I haven't had to run into those ghosty things. See, I'm not super good at climbing the mountains without breaking things. I fall on my back a lot, so I try to avoid going straight up the mountains, but worst comes to worst, I'll do it. This is fine, because if I take a longer route, it also gives me more likes. I try to use as few actual tools as possible. I know you need them in this game. But it's like a personal thing how I just want to do it without having to use all that stuff, because I don't want to weigh myself down. So look at this, I'm not even going to use this bridge. I'm not even going to use this bridge. I'm just going to cross this dangerous river. See? It's kind of a paradox. See, I set the difficulty to the easiest difficulty, and then I deliberately make things difficult for myself once I'm in the game, because I don't think I have to do certain things. Like I put away the bullet gun in in the locker, not the shared locker, but the only weapon I have is that rope thing, which I think is fine. Most of the time I just punch people. I get rid of most of the grenades because they don't do long enough on the ghosts. I know in the beginning there was a mission that said, we don't recommend this mission unless you have the maser gun. And I was like, oh, well, how do I get the maser gun? And I have no idea. So that's the only one that sounds kind of cool, because it sounds like I can zap things and laser things. But in the meantime, I'm just going to do what I do. I don't even use the vehicles. Like, I just hoof it. I just hoof it. If I'm gonna port, I'm gonna port. Hey, the rain's over. Gotta get my drip back out. Yay, look at that. Look at that. Fashionable. Fashionable outfit. Oh, another rainstorm. Now, if anybody wants to enthuse about the potential sequel that was just announced for this game, you could do so in the chat right now if you're watching Twitch as I'm recording this with Deadpool Head, because he's super excited about it. And I'm not saying that in a way that means like I'm not. Like, I'm not really like, oh boy, who could care less, whatever. But I'm just, it's a new, it's big, it's new, and I'll probably, since I don't have a PlayStation, I'm playing this on the Xbox. What that means is it's going to be an exclusive, I'm sure, for about 10 years. Not that long, I'm exaggerating, but I'm sure it'll be on PlayStation for a while, and I'll have to wait to play it. So I'm not going to get too excited because I can't bother with it anyway. Plus, I'm still working on this one. I mean, what am I going to do, right? Alright, so I'll want to go that way. Gotta be careful, I got more weight now. Oh, I don't want to go by that creepy road. Dang it. Oh, careful. Careful, careful, careful. Oh, that goes over a lot more water. Okay, well I can go around the road and still not go into the mule territory, because that's really all that I'm doing. I'm trying to avoid the mule territory, because I don't want to have to fight anybody with the fragile stuff. Not like it's a big deal. This road creeps me out though. Like, look at this. I do not like the looks of it. It feels like there's going to be things attacking me here. Oh, there's one of those things. Don't really need it. Yeah, it's 100% a Sony thing that it's going to be exclusive for a while, and I'm not going to knock it. I mean, I get why consoles still do it now, but I think console exclusives are a thing of the past, to be honest. Like, people will still go on and say, "Oh, this console doesn't have enough exclusives, and these exclusives are better, and this and this." And I don't think exclusives should be the reason to buy a console. I think you should look at like controller comfort, and I mean the graphical capabilities are super close between the PlayStation and the Xbox. You know, it's not that they're not that different. They have a few different features between them that you might prefer one over the other, and that should be the reason why you pick one or the other. I'm not a big into the whole console or ideology thing. I've always used Xbox for most of my gaming life from that generation forward. I have a PlayStation 1 and I have a PlayStation 3 that I got secondhand years after it was not supported. But oh, that's a problem. Oh, there's a rope over there. But beyond that, I don't know. I don't see a reason to do the whole exclusive thing anymore. I get why they do it, because it's all about money, but, you know, I don't... I'm not into it. I'm just not into it. And it's kind of a pain, because there's been plenty of things that I've wanted to play on PlayStation that I can't because they're on PlayStation. And I have to wait to see if they become available for Xbox. And if they don't, then I guess I'm just stuck. The third option is people say, oh, we'll play on PC. But PC it just got expensive. You've got to upgrade it all the time. I mean, then the other option is, oh, well, you're replacing console every few years. But to be honest, I can get a good amount of life out of a console generation. You know? I can get a lot of life out of a console generation. The thing for PC is that games are optimized with certain settings for certain video cards when they first come out, and then when new games come out, they're optimized with different settings. It's not just a universal, like, it'll work on every PC that has this set of gear. It changes constantly compared to console. Like, console, they have to do certain things, which is kind of, you know, dumbing things down, I admit, to a certain extent, but it just streamlines the whole process. And now that I'm doing console exclusively, I'm just kind of like, you know, I don't see a reason to go back to PC. I used to all the time, but I don't see a reason to do it. I even have a Steam account that I can't use because my laptop can't run games. I don't have a PC that's strong enough to do that kind of stuff anymore. And I kind of don't mind.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Safe travels. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified.
Alright, engineer, I brought you some stuff. I brought you this because I found it. Because I used to build PCs. I used to upgrade by hand. I used to do all that kind of stuff. Really get into it. It was something I really liked, and then it just got expensive and time consuming.
Than we had any right to ask. Don't think we don't know that.
Some of these guys are kind of like, hey, let's be best friends, you know, let's be more than friends, hey. And I'm kind of like, no, I walk alone with saliva. I walk alone.
Thanks. Until next time.
That wasn't very much for that fuel tank that I found out there. I guess you didn't need it that bad.
New order available. Please.
Some new order. Treat me like you do.
Delivering cargo.
Oh, well. I've seen Norman Reedus naked enough in this game, thank you very much. I don't need to see more of him naked.
Well, the cargo's in great condition.
I know, you're welcome, because I didn't go through that territory. I took the long way. Likes. Hey, waiting. A new record again. I'm just breaking records all over the place. Increasing that star size there. That's what I'm doing with the stars.
Until next time.
Okay, now what do you have? Do you have any new missions? Or new deliveries, rather? No. Yeah, standard orders. What do we got? Oh, well. Okay. Then that's better than seeing more naked Norman Reedus, because I've seen enough naked Norman Reedus. High performance underwear? The stuff people ask for. I don't. I can probably take all three of those. I'll go to him first, because he's over there. I can go around that territory, and then I can go back down the river, so. I'll do that. I'll take all that stuff. I can do it. I think I can do it. Weight-wise, I can do it. Size-wise, I don't know. Yeah, I've got so many blood packs and grenades and things, and I'm hoping I don't actually have to use hardly any of it, but I know I'm going to have to at some point, because they're going to... I had to use it on the boss thing outside of this lake town, so I know you'll need them, but... Yeah, boss fights. I kind of just want to do these delivery things and just make that like everything about this game. Just play it really chill and not even worry about it.
Thanks again.
Okay, well I'm going to do that first. And then I'm going to go back to the city and drop off the other stuff. Is there anything else that anybody needs around here? Don't restrict my weapons. Yeah, I can kind of tell that it's mostly designed to be just like kind of an introspective sort of like, this is what you do, you deliver the stuff. And honestly, if this was the entirety of the game with only a few like cutscenes and encounters, I think I'd be fine with that. I wouldn't be too bad. I think that'd be okay. Oh, here comes the rain again. Alright, I gotta go down one of these ropes. I'll go this one, and then I gotta climb back up the other side. Right there. Okay, so I'll take this one. No, don't fall over. What are you doing? Alright. Here comes the rain again. Something, I don't remember the words. Okay, now where's the other rope? Is it right over there? It is. Okay. Alright, up we go. I know, BB, you don't like it. It's okay. I got this. Don't worry. I'll take care of the kids. I got one of my own, I know. Not as little as you, but... And you're not trapped in the jar either, but... I mean, that kind of makes a big difference, not being trapped in a jar. Alright, where's my... Oh, I'm pretty much on it. Okay, it's over there, so that's fine. I'm gonna cross the road. Why did the Reedus cross the road? To get away from the Walking Dead. Ha 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 ha! Hey, that's a dumb joke. Eh. Was that intended, or is it just the character model is broken? Because, two right hands is like two left feet. I don't know. And I'm never gonna dance again. Make sure I'm still going the right direction. I'm kind of off to the side, so I'll go back this way. Connect with my little route here. Yeah, everything Kojima does is something that means something to him and makes no sense to anyone else until he explains it, and then you look at him like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense, but it really doesn't. But like I said, he should be making movies. He should be making movies. I know people will be disappointed about not playing games, but he should be just doing movies. Because I think that would be the best use of his time. The way that he does these things, and the number of cutscenes he's got in these games anyway, like, he wants to make movies. Yeah, I bet he watches a lot. I bet he watches a lot of movies. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. I would not be surprised at all that he watches a lot of movies. Because to get the inspiration for some of this stuff, he probably watches a ton of things. He's got imagination for days. I mean, it doesn't always translate, but he's got imagination. I'll say that. As much as I talk about, oh, it's a Kojima game, it's this and this, it's still like... You know, I can kind of get that too. By the way, if you're watching from YouTube, you're missing a great conversation on Twitch here. But, he probably is watching the technology. Like, there's technology right now that's being worked on. You can kind of do it now. It's VR stuff where it's an interactive movie, basically, where it's like choose your own adventure with full cinema and everything, and you're involved in the whole thing. But the only thing that you do is you have the choices, and then you watch the whole thing in virtual reality, so you see yourself doing it, which is kind of disconnecting for me. I feel like I'd have to be more interactive with it, but I don't know. I can't put up the chat because I don't have a third-party program. I'm going through directly from my Xbox console with the Twitch extension, which is why it's really simple and stripped down. I don't have any sort of overlays. I don't have any of the frills. In order to actually do like the full Twitch experience and then have that show up everywhere else, I would have to get a PC. If not to play games on, but to actually be a stand-in with a capture card, because the capture card I have doesn't work that well. But you know, this is what works for me right now. So this is what I'm doing, and it gets the job done. You know, it does what it needs to do, and I don't really have gimmicks. Like, sometimes I talk with the voice. Yeah, hey, I'm doing stupid voice, but I don't have gimmicks as far as what I'm doing. It's real DIY because that's how I like it. It looks like it's authentic because I'm just sitting here doing it. I don't have a bunch of slick promotion. I don't have a bunch of slick production. I just do things. which is the name of my YouTube channel, Spider Does Things, because I do things. Hey, shameless plug. And that's how I approach everything in life, with authenticity. That's why I don't go back and edit things. That's why I don't go back and touch things up. Because I want authenticity. I want it to be genuine. That's why when my cats act up, I gotta get up and I gotta chase them off. I don't cut that out of the stream. I'm like, okay, hold on, guys. I gotta go deal with my cats, and then I go do it. Because cats are cats, pets are pets.
Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified.
It's like when I was taking care of the dog. Like, the dog was so sick all the time, and I was trying to just help her and keep her going. I would have to pause my streams and get up and do things and help her out, and, you know, because life happens. Now the dog's gone, so, you know, I can do more, but the dog's gone, you know. It's been a while. It's been over a year now, but, you know, that stuff happens, unfortunately. Okay, let's get this in there, huh?
Delivering cargo.
To missing friends. That's what that drink is for.
Hey, Sam.
To absent friends.
Darn, all this couldn't have been easy.
Where are we at? We're about a half hour in. We still got time. I deal a lot with nostalgia. While we're kind of on the topic, I deal a lot with... I have strong memories. Like, I don't forget a lot of things. I'll forget stupid things. Like, if I'm sitting here and I think to myself, oh, I should probably get up and go get this in the kitchen. And if I sit and I let time pass for more than a couple minutes, I'll completely forget. And then I'll remember that I was supposed to do something, and I'll sit here and I'll just be like, what was it I was going to do? And I'll agonize it until I remember. But plenty of other things, I have a good long-term memory for things. I'm a master handler. Hey, ask your mother. But, and my great handler, too. You can also ask your sister. Hey, so, that's enough of that. That's enough. Let's get back on track here. Nostalgia and memory. Memory is the key. Memory is the key. And I remember a lot of things.
You know,
I have a really healthy long-term
maybe you
memory.
could use it more than me. Go ahead and grab it whenever.
Tell me to just grab things. Oh, yeah, he's giving me more custom grenades. I'm going to take that and put it in my private locker for now, because I'm not going to use it right this second.
Seeing you in action gives me hope.
It's a good joke. I've made it before. Every time I get every time I
Access delivery terminal.
get a better level in this game, I end up using that same joke because it's funny. Misogyny. I'm sure somebody would scream, but you know what? I don't care because it's funny. And I think people of all genders would think it was funny to some extent. Yeah, I name all my streams like just random stuff because I think it's funny. Like stuff that just comes up. Or I take subtle jabs at people because I think it's hilarious. Some people get the jokes, some people don't. I have a lot of in-jokes because I have so many memories of different things. I reference so many things. I've talked about doing contests based on when I drop a reference, or if I just sing a song and don't tell people where the song came from. I'm thinking of starting a contest program where it's like, hey, you have to watch until what's it called? Oh, here comes the rain again. Like this one. Here comes the rain again. See, what I would do is if I've got the contest set up, and I'm gonna do it when I'm monetized, because that way I'll have a little bit of money to work with. I won't just, be pouring my own cash into it. I'll be using the ad revenue. But I would do that, and then I would say, okay, tune in to whatever minute that I broadcast, and if you catch me doing a reference, if you can name the reference in the comments as the first person to name the reference, then you get a prize. Like I'll send you, I don't know, a gift card or a game code or something. I don't know. It depends on what I got to work with, but I think I'd like to do that because I think it'd be funny because I do so many references. I have so much just random stuff that pops into my brain that I just spout off in a stream, and I think it would be hilarious to use those and do like weekly contests or something. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm aiming for, just like secret codes and secret words and things, but you have to watch the entirety, or at least up to a certain point. And once the monetization happens, I think I'd like to do that. The big thing, the big kicker, is watch hours. Because I've had the subscribers for a while. With YouTube, you need two things. You need watch hours and you need subscribers. I've hit the subscribers. Getting people to watch more than a few minutes is the trick because people are how they are. They don't pay attention. They'll watch like a minute and they'll be like, I'm bored, or this doesn't look fun, or whatever. And you have to have enough watch hours from people to make it worth YouTube's time to give you ad revenue. And that's what I'm working on. I'm working on the watch hours right now. I've got the subscribers. My subscriber numbers keep going up, and I am really super grateful, by the way. And I appreciate everybody who's subscribed. I gain and I lose subscribers pretty regularly, but I'm gaining more than I'm losing, which is definitely the best possible scenario. And it's getting people to watch continuously. The other thing is, I figure if I can just keep getting subscribers, then the few minutes people watch at a time will add up to watch hours as it goes, and attrition will kick in, and eventually it'll just naturally always have enough watch hours. Because that's just science. That's just how things work. So I'm just pushing hard to get more subscribers and get everything growing, and if I can get that with one aspect and then apply that to everything else, like my audio podcasts on Spotify, this Uncanny Earth, the Big Buff Records stuff, everybody who's connected to me will see the growth among themselves, and that's the plan, is to get the growing started and just yank everybody up right by the bootstraps until everybody... I need to go back to the other show too. Like, I need to do more episodes of Let's Just Talk About This. I got so sidetracked with everything else that I was doing, but I know I need to do more of that because I didn't even finish season 3. It's about halfway done, a little over halfway. But it's difficult sometimes to sit and record even just a half-hour of content because, man, it's just so much stuff goes on. Especially doing this. This is my primary thing. the game streams, an hour a night, it doesn't seem like very much, but it takes a lot of time around sleeping and eating, and then during the day I don't have any time at all. So during the day I'm taking care of everything around the house. So, but I'm pleased with the growth anyway, and I'm thankful for everybody that has kept up with it and who's watched at least a few minutes at a time, because I appreciate that. It definitely is helpful. And it looks like I'm gonna need to change my boots. My boots are getting low. What are you looking at, Mr. Cat? Huh? He's the usual fat cat. He's just sitting there going, just like that. Yeah. What? What? You want some petting? Hmm? Of course you do. You'd be all up in my lap if I let you, but you'd be distracting, and then I'd probably get eaten by a ghost.
Nobody out here but us damn fools.
Nobody here but us chickens. Hey, somebody was out there. Here's one of your brothers. He's over here rolling around thinking he's going to get a petting too. He saw you getting petted and he says, "Hey, pet me. I'm having a good time." And then his other brother up there, the orange boy. The orange boy is the one who's got all the problems right now. He's on... Yeah. Of course, Kojima, you can do that. Mr. Kojima, you... I don't bother with that, but the orange boy up here, he's the one with the medical problems. He's on 3 medications right now. Not prescription, just stuff that I'm doing over the counter to keep his health going. Because he's like... How old is he? He's 14, 15 years old, give or take. His brother here is super robust. He's never had a health problem in his life, but he's got problems. He couldn't pee for a while, and then he's having trouble going poop. Which sounds kind of like, oh, whoa. But that's life-threatening for cats sometimes. This is supposed to go to the Lake Knot City. I think I'll pick this up. There we go. Well, it depends on the cat. I mean, some cats can live up to like 20-some years old. I haven't had one go that long, but they can get up there. But he's on some different things. He's got like an iron supplement to help his blood and stuff like that. And he comes and goes with his issues. He's getting through it. He's getting through it.
Beginning scan. Scanning Bridges ID. Verifying ID.
Be nice if somebody
Clear.
could fill in for
Weapons
me for a
detected.
day.
All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo
I used to have turtles where I used to live with my folks way back in the day. We'd get like turtles would come up from the from the pond in the backwoods. They would travel all the way out
Distribution Center.
to where the house was, which is a heck of a distance for a turtle. My goodness. Especially a little turtle.
All you gotta do is put your life on the line.
My dad had fish for a while. He had saltwater fish, so he had to have this special climate-controlled tank, and he had anemones and all kinds of other things. My dad gets into all kinds of weird hobbies. He had fish, he had peacocks. That's where the peacocks episode came from. It's all true story. It's not me making anything up. Dad's a goofy guy. He does what he does.
Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
Personally, I've just stuck with cats and dogs. All the dogs are gone, so I just got the cats. My dad has a VR headset for his PlayStation 5. Here I am talking about consoles and things and VR and stuff. And he's got. When water cooling was a new thing for computers, he built his own from scratch, his own water cooled computer. It didn't have the nice little fine tubes in there, soldered in and everything. It had big plastic tubes coming in and out. Like, it looked like a science experiment, like one of the Borg, with just these tubes of water coming. And it worked! It worked. He bought a flat screen TV once, a huge one, big one, from Circuit City when that was still a thing. From Circuit City back in the day. It was a floor model, and he strapped it outside to the back of his Lincoln Navigator with tie downs and things to get it home, and didn't break it. Didn't crack the screen. The guys told him it wasn't going to work, and he said, "Oh, I'll get it to work." And he got it up there, and he took it home, and they just watched him go, imagining the accidents he was going to have, and he got it home. He's a crazy man, but that's my dad. I can't say anything bad about my dad. Not one thing. He did his best to make sure that I turned out right, and I kind of turned out rotten, but he did his best. So I can't fault him for nothing. He's playing. He's learning how to play the saxophone right now. For some reason. He's learning how to play the saxophone. He's a funny guy. He's a funny guy. You better not do that. Don't want to do that on stream. I'm getting goofy.
Until the next
Goofy.
stay safe. Good work. New order available.
I get my enjoyment of first-person shooters from my dad too, because that's what he had. He had first-person shooters and flight simulators. He used to play Wing Commander, the very first game, and then the sequel, so 1 and 2, and then he had Doom and Wolfenstein 3D and side-scrolling Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem used to be a side-scroller, and instead of like beer and pills, which is what it is now, he was like candy and soda pop. That was the first Duke Nukem game.
Hey, Sam. Good to see you. Wow. This is way more than we expected. Thank you, Sam.
Oh, goodness. Getting into the memories now. Yeah, that's what most people think of when they think about that. And it used to be the first 2 games, Duke Nukem 1 and Duke Nukem 2, were both just side scrollers, like platformer kind of things, with like Contra style almost. Um, with weapon upgrades and things like that, but you had like soda pop and candy, and you had to rescue your girlfriend from Dr. Proton. Way back. That's some old school stuff. And then now he's like this. People can't help but put him in bad games, apparently. That was way back on the Amiga. That's what I used to play that on, the Amiga. right? We had an Amiga and a Commodore 64. It was a lot like that. But the levels were like one big open space up and down, and you'd fight the enemies, unlock doors, and do things like that, and find the key. And
Until the next delivery, stay safe.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal.
the very first Elder Scrolls game, Arena, we had that, played the heck out of that. Whereas, like, you've got Oblivion takes place in the Imperial Province, right? Just there. Morrowind take place on an island off of the actual province of Morrowind. So it's kind of small, to be honest, for being such a big space. Skyrim takes place only in the province of. No, you're thinking of Blades. Elder Scrolls Blades is a mobile game, but Skyrim is the province of Skyrim, just one province, and Arena had the entire continent,
Nobody out
which
here
was
damn fools.
7 or 8 provinces at least. You could spend actual days of real time going from one end to the other if you just walked across without doing any fast travel, without any of that. You could. It was huge.
Just sit here for a second and meditate.
Oh, hey, he'll do that. And one of the biggest things I remember from that game, that I always remember, is there's a there's an enemy. There's the trolls. The trolls in that game. Okay. The trolls in that game could only be killed by fire. You could defeat them with pretty much anything if you had a weapon that did enough damage, but you couldn't kill them unless you used fire. If you didn't use fire, you would defeat them wherever out in the wilderness, and their corpse would fall over. It's one of those sprites that when you turn around, it follows you, because that's the age of the game. It was 1992. Okay. But if you sat there and watched it, you would see it. It would twitch every so often because it wasn't actually dead. It was just so damaged it couldn't get back up. And if you waited there long enough, it would get back up and it would attack you again, and you'd have to fight it again. If you fought it and then left it there, and then kept going to wherever you had to do next, it would follow you. You might wake up from sleeping in a town a week later, go outside the inn, and it's there in the street coming after you. Because it remembered you, and it followed you across the entire space to catch up with you, however slow it was compared to however quick you are. And you would have to fight it again, and if you didn't kill it with fire, then it would just keep doing that across the entire continent. That's Elder Scrolls Arena. It was crazy. It was crazy. Let's see what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch my boots out because these boots are pretty tore up. So I'm going to switch to put those on. And then I'm going to recycle this extra pair of boots because I don't need them. Those ones. RECYCLE, recycle. We had a few horror games too back in the day, not many. We had Gabriel Knight, which was crazy. We had Phantasmagoria, not Phasmophobia or whatever else is out right now, but it's Phantasmagoria, which was shot with real actors, and then you would move them around, and it was about like a demon in this house, and it possessed your character was this lady, and it possessed your husband and made him do like real bad things. Like did some pretty gratuitously bad things to you once after a shower because he was possessed by the demon and it was real violent. And you had to go through and do like you had to collect just the right items to make sure you were ready when it emerged at the end, and then exercise it and things like that. It was crazy. I wasn't supposed to play that one, but my older sister would play it, and I would watch her play it because that's what I did. We would sneak videotapes from my parents' forbidden video collection, not like porn stuff. They didn't have that, but they had all the R-rated movies and things from the 80s, which were considering considering that PG-13 in the 80s would give you like full frontal nudity a lot of the times and pretty bad language. The R movies were pretty rough, like RoboCop stuff, and we watched a few of those when parents weren't home when it was supposed to be like babysitting because my older sister was supposed to be the responsible one. But we would watch some pretty bad movies together. In the 80s there were some movies that were it was PG-13. Like there's Airplane 2. There's Airplane and there's Airplane 2, and they both have Leslie Nielsen. They're an old like they're movies that would not get made today because of the jokes. People would say they were racist, or they would say they were insensitive, or whatever, Blazing Saddles kind of stuff, right? But Airplane 2 had a spot where there's the guy watching the X-ray machine where it X-rays people as they walk through to see if they have anything metal or anything like bombs or stuff. But instead of being an X-ray machine, it would show people without clothes. For the dudes, they'd have shorts on. But for the ladies, they wouldn't. They would be fully nude when they walked through, and it showed it on there. PG-13. That was the 80s. It was a heck of a time to be alive. And to be aware of things. Airplane 2, coincidentally, is one of my favorite old 80s comedies. Not for that kind of stuff, but because some of the jokes were just... It's so ridiculous. Like the one guy, every time something bad happens, he's like, man, I picked the wrong day to stop drinking. And then he says, I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue. I picked the wrong day to start smoking crack. It's like... What? Ridiculous. What am I doing? What time is it anyway? Oh, I'm at my hour. I used up a lot of time. I guess I'm gonna save then.
Thank you for...
Now that I've made my deliveries. If you're watching from Twitch, you got to see the conversation between myself and Deadpool Head. If you're watching from YouTube, unfortunately, you missed it. I feel bad because I want to include you guys because YouTube is my thing. But, regardless, I still appreciate everybody tuning in, everybody watching. I'm going to go do some other things, and we'll be back probably tomorrow, back with Final Fantasy VII. Because I'm trying to do a couple of videos of one and then a couple of videos of the other. Because Final Fantasy VII is a lengthy process, and I also want to make sure I'm grinding a lot in there. So, until then, of course, thanks for watching. I will see you folks next time. Have a good night.